What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is another episode of Mock Draft Monday, where we do mock drafts on Monday. The title is pretty self-explanatory. Today we have the 2026 NBA Draft. This is about my fourth mock draft of the collegiate season. You guys love the mock drafts. You guys know this is what I'm best at. And we're here, man. We're here. I think I have a new number one prospect. Not 100% sure. We're going to see how this lottery plays out because I'm not going to do the regular lottery order because I know you guys see who's at number 3. I won't even allow it to happen. So let's simulate the lottery and let's see what we can get. Hopefully OKC doesn't get a top 5 pick, but they ended up getting the number 1 overall pick. Yeah, this is fun. The Milwaukee Bucks jump up to number 5. The Brooklyn Nets fall all the way to 7, and Utah don't get their pick at all. So yeah, let's just make OKC happy. Whatever we can do to make OKC happy, right? Yeah, we're gonna use this in the mock draft though. We're gonna use this in the mock draft because why not? Okay, why not? Why not let OKC get the number 1 pick? Because it's a good title. OKC gets the number 1 pick mock draft. Perfect, just like that. With the first pick, I don't even know where OKC would go with this. I know what I would do, and that's go get Darren Peterson. Imagine a backcourt of SGA and Darren Peterson. Kobe and Kobe. Just 2 Kobes. But yeah, Darren Peterson, I don't think he would start immediately for this Oklahoma City Thunder team. I would be surprised if he started at all in his rookie season, but him being a scorer off the bench would make that so much better for this Oklahoma City offense. I like how he plays off the ball. I like how he plays on the ball. Only thing is, I think his shots are a little predetermined, and I think him working with SGA for his early point of his career, I think that's going to help him a lot. I don't even want to think about this. To be completely honest, the Warriors, after they went 73-9, they went and got the second best player in the world. Imagine if OKC goes and gets the second best prospect in the world. Now, I'm not saying Darren Peterson is the second best prospect, but you guys get what I'm trying to say here. Yeah, OKC with the number 1 pick, just making every NBA fan's life a little bit worse. As for the number 2 overall pick, this is when the actual draft can start. I'm going to have the Washington Wizards taking Cam Boozer. The Washington Wizards young core isn't as good as a lot of people would think. I think they have 2 players that I'm extremely sure I would put in my future plans, and that's Keyshawn George and Alex Sarr. I think both of those guys are really good basketball players, and they can be in the future. And then you get a guy like Cam Boozer to where you now have your future. Last year, I was on the train of go get Kaman Malawach, build the defensive unit that you guys would want, whether it's when it's Keyshawn George, Alex Sarr, and Kaman Malawach. But now you have the Keyshawn George, Cam Boozer, Alex Sarr ordeal where you can just be extremely physical, extremely tall, extremely lengthy, one of the best rebounding teams in basketball, and you can be extremely versatile with what you can do at your forward and center position. I really do like Cam Boozer. I do think he may have the lowest ceiling out of the big 3, even though I don't think it's as big of a gap. I think Cameron Boozer, he does get a little nervous once people stun at him. Once he gets to the middle of the floor, he picks up his dribble a lot, and he's not the best finisher around traffic, but the potential as a mismatch attacker, a passer, a finisher at the rim, a ball handler, somebody that can seal in the post, play in a pick and roll. Those are the things that are extremely valuable to what he can do, and he can also put up points in abundance. So I think Cameron Boozer is a first surefire number 2 pick, really good at that position there. As for the Sacramento Kings, hopefully this is the season that they just finally say, you know what, whoever wants DeMontis, you can have him. Whoever wants Zach LaVine, you can have him. Whoever wants DeMar DeRozan, you can have him. Whoever wants Malik Monk, you can have him. We're going to call the Los Angeles Lakers and see what they're willing to give up for Keon Ellis. But yeah, I think AJ Dybantsa is the guy that they're going to go with here. I mean, obviously, this is where the Kings would just go best player available, just because I think AJ Dybantsa does have the highest ceiling out of the big 3. He's been playing very well over the past few games, might I add. He had 29 against who was it against? I forgot already. But he had 29 in that one game. He had 28 in the next game. As a ball handler, I still have a lot of questions, but the shot making potential, the driving potential, potential, the ability to play within the middle of the floor and play in the post. Those things are all extremely valuable. I would love to see him get in transition a little bit more, and I would like to see the defensive upside start to show me something, because he showed me a lot in high school. In high school, I'm like, yo, this guy can be a positive defender just because he has all the tools that you would need out of a guard or a wing like AJ Dybantsa to be a really good defender. He just hasn't put it together consistently enough for me to say that this is something that's going to just translate to the next level. I think it all depends on what team he goes to. Like if he goes to the Kings, I'm not gonna lie, I don't have too much optimism of him becoming a really good defender. It really depends on just what team he goes to, and I think he does have the highest ceiling if he can reach all of those things that you see the upside for. But I wouldn't just say like, oh yeah, just because I think he has the highest ceiling, he's now the number one prospect in this draft. Okay, so now that AJ Dybantsa is gone, there are multiple different routes that teams can go up next with the 4 through 8. I believe you have Caleb Wilson, you have Mikael Brown, you have Koa Pete, you have Nate Ament, you have Jaden Quaintance, you have Labyrinth Phelan, you have Tonde Yesufu, you have Chris Sinek, you also have Kingston Flemings, who's been surging up draft boards. There are a multitude of different players that you can go with between 4, and 10, to where I don't think there's like a automatic. I think that's the case for like 1 through 10. You have the top 3, and then you have 4 through 10, to where you can go anywhere you want with said players that I just mentioned, and it'd be okay, because it's really on fit. I think this draft is a lot more on fit and where you're placed in the lottery. For example, I don't think the Hawks should be like, you know what, we're just going to go get Koa Pete because I feel like he's the best player available, to where we should not have to worry about going fit because he's so much better than Caleb Wilson, Mikael Brown, and Jaden Quaintance. I don't think that's the case at all. I think in this case, you would have to get somebody that fits your system. And to be completely honest, I don't do mock drafts predetermined. Like I don't predetermine my mock drafts before I start my recordings. So based on what I think probably fits best, it all depends on the Trae Young situation. But I will also like to get a little bit more defense going in, because I don't think Jalen Johnson has been as effective on the defensive end of the floor, and I don't think Kristaps Porzingis has either. I'm not gonna lie. Give me Quaintance. Give me Jaden Quaintance. Give me Jaden Quaintance with the number 4 pick. Yeah, we're shaking things up. OKC already got the number 1 pick in the draft. Why not? Why not? So Jaden Quaintance is an Atlanta Hawk. Extremely switchable. Protects the rim really well. Has shown some upside as a ball handler. Finishes around the rim really well. A really good shot blocker. I think Quaintance is the move. Now, Milwaukee, I think if they're going to keep Giannis, okay, listen to me now. I don't hate Labyrinth Phelan, but they also have Ryan Rollins. Kevin Porter Jr. has made an insurgence. I'm going to go Caleb Wilson. This is probably not the best pick, just because Giannis is still on the basketball team. But I'm going to just basically say, you know what? Let's draft this guy in Caleb Wilson. He can play behind Giannis. And then if Giannis does decide to leave, we'll have someone who has played behind Giannis for a year, can come up, can really improve on top of everything we just got back. I think Caleb Wilson is the move here. Extremely athletic player, really good offensive rebounder, really good rebounder in general, really good finisher around the rim. I don't think he's like, I wouldn't say as good as people think, but I don't think he's as polished as a lot of people make themselves believe, for him to be like a lock top 4 prospect in this draft class. Again, I will hear the conversation for him to be top 4 in the draft class, but I don't think it's as definitive as a lot of people have been saying. And that's where I have my drawbacks with him, because when you look at him creating for himself or just creating in the half court, it's not great. And then when you look at him defensively, it's like the athleticism and the size would promote you or would have you thinking that he could be this ultra switchable defender that can rim protect and guard on the perimeter, when I just don't think he's that level of defender yet. When he does, but he does have the size, the length, the strength, the athleticism to where he can be that offensively and defensively, but he's not there yet, to where I can see the reasoning on why you would want to draft him so early, because maybe you think you can progress him to become that, but he's just not there yet. And I don't think he's as close as a lot of people make him out to be. But Caleb Wilson's is still really good though. As for the Indiana Pacers, I don't know where I want to go with this pick. I think Nate Ament is probably going to be the guy I go with. Just somebody that's extremely lengthy, can make shots and play off the ball. He's probably the best choice for the Indiana Pacers. I don't think Koa Pete is the option because he is kind of like that inner inside the arc scorer that you would want, but not for a team that plays as fast as Indiana, to where I think Nate could probably fit that role much better. So I'm going to go Nate Ament for the Indiana Pacers. As for the Brooklyn Nets, it's in between Mikael Brown and Koa P because I do think they have the highest ceilings of all the players that are left. And Brooklyn is a team where they're like, you know what, let's go best player available. Let's go best player available and what we think works better. And I low-key think that's Mikael Brown Jr. I think Mikael Brown Jr. is like somebody that can thrive into their system of having the off-ball play, especially if Michael Porter Jr. is still on the team. I think Michael Porter Jr. is somebody that could be a real safety blanket for Mikael Brown, especially somebody that plays in DHO, plays in pick and roll so much, and he has the feel of making lob passes and making skip passes. I think Michael Porter Jr. could be one of those safety blankets that they use for Mikael to help his decision-making process. So I think he's really good there. As for the Charlotte Hornets, I think we have to stop disrespecting Koa Pete here. Koa Pete going to Charlotte, you have Con Knipple, Sion James, Ryan Kalkbrenner, and Koa Pete. That's the young core that you're looking at LaMelo and say, hey, get on this train or get off. You know, I think Koa Pete is one of the most polished scorers in this draft class with his ability to get to the rim and just be like extremely physical and finishing around the rim and being able to put the ball on the floor and finish through contact. And he also has a really good mid-range shot. He could be really good as a screener and pick and popper, to where I could understand why Koa Pete is getting picked for Charlotte. Now, with the 9th overall pick in this draft, I'm going to be taking Labyrinth Phelan for the Portland Trailblazers. I think he just fits exactly what they want to do. Labyrinth Phelan is one of my favorite prospects in this draft. I really liked him last year, but I didn't think he had the ceiling that he has now. That he did last year, and that comes with a lot of improvement. I mean, his scoring in the half court alone has made me look at him entirely different as what he can do for an NBA franchise coming into the NBA. Last year, I looked at him as somebody that can thrive in transition and be a really good on-ball defender. This year, I've seen him getting a lot better as a passer, playmaker, and scorer, to where he does have counters off the dribble that he can get to, has a really good first step, and he's been knocking down his shots consistently. Let me actually look at his splits. Exactly what I'm saying. Like, again, okay, I'm going to tell you guys like this because I think I have to get this off my chest. I don't look at college basketball stats. I don't have a Synergy account. I just watch college basketball on YouTube TV as much as I can. I record every single game, every single Division I college basketball game, and I watch as much as I get a chance to. So when I watch these players, and also shout out to Kashigi posts a lot of broken up like play games and stuff and possessions from these prospects. He helps me out a lot too. So I don't necessarily go to the stats when I need like confirmation or something. If I see Labyrinth Phelan is more comfortable taking 3-point shots and he's making them, then I'll say he's improved as a 3-point shooter. But if we take a look, he's shooting 5 threes a game, shooting 41%. He's shooting 63% inside the arc. That's a 9-point increase from last year, 10-point increase in percentage from 3, while also taking 2 more a game. And he's shooting 55% from the field, while almost doubling his shots from last year, while only averaging like an extra 5 minutes a game. Yeah, Labyrinth Phelan has improved majorly, to where I'm comfortable taking him in the top 10 or in the lottery. And I think he's going to help out significantly for this Portland Trailblazers team. So I'm going to take him there. As for the number 10 overall pick, where the OKC Thunder strike again, I'm going to go Tunde Yesufu. I think this is going to end up being the Lou Dort replacement. Not that I'm saying Lou Dort has to be replaced, but this is probably why OKC are keeping their draft picks. If Lou Dort somehow becomes way too expensive, or if they have to trade him, This is where Tonde Yesufu comes in. He has the build, he has the strength, he has the defensive prowess. He plays passing lanes really well. He's gotten a lot better as a three-point shooter and mid-range shooter as he's gone along through high school and now into the college level. He's been screening and rolling in high school to where the cutting and the finishing through contact and the finishing around the rim off the ball has been extremely amazing. I just think the on-ball creation isn't as good, but again, I don't think a lot of teams are going to ask him to create on the off the dribbles, especially not in OKC. So I think Tonde Yesufu is a really good pick here. As for the Dallas Mavericks, I'm actually going to go with where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Don't hide from me. Here he is, Kingston Fleming. I think Kingston Fleming is a pretty good pick in Dallas, man. Really good defender, is really aggressive on that side of the floor, can get to the mid range and can make the right play consistently, whether that's lay down passes or just making the extra pass in general. I think he could be a really good guy for the culture in Dallas when they're trying to build for defense, and who knows what's going to be happening with Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving. I think Kingston Fleming could be a very good fit for them. I think point guard should be one of their biggest concerns coming into the draft. As for the Chicago Bulls, I'm going big with Chris Sinak. I think he's probably going to be a 4. I don't necessarily see him as a 5, but somebody that can be a roamer, somebody that can knock down the mid-range shot and play off ball, whether that's in the pick and pop or running DHOs. I think Chris Sinak could be really good for the Chicago Bulls team. The only thing is I just think he's been a little bit overshadowed by what's going on in Houston. I think he's just been majority of rebounding, defensive, shot-making type of power forward, which is nothing wrong with, but I would love to see him unleashed a little bit more as the season goes along. But I think that's a really good pick for Chicago. As for Memphis, I'm going to go Bennett Sturts. We don't know what's going to go on with John Morant. To be honest, I don't think he's going to get traded, but I think having a point guard that can pull up, shoot, and that can shoot from 3 as good as he can pass as good as he can. The only thing is, with Bennett Sturts, I don't think he creates the advantage. Like, he does get a lot of assists. He averages 5 assists a night. But my biggest thing with him is I don't think he's the one creating the advantage for his team. Like, I can see a lot of actions being ran away from the ball while he has it and he's making the right play, or out of pick and roll, he's a really good pull-up three-point shooter. But I don't see the point where he's making these easy reads because he's not creating easy reads, if you guys get what I'm saying. But outside of that, I think he's a really good player. I don't think he deals with physicality as well. Like, again, I think I said this last time. I spoke about him against what's his name? Jeremy Fears in Michigan. Yeah. Jeremy Fears, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't in Michigan State. Yeah, nah. Nah, fam. Anyway, as for the San Antonio Spurs, I'm going to go Yaxel Lindenberg here. I think San Antonio needs some real forward play. Yaxel Lindenberg is a senior. He's played a lot of college basketball. Somebody that can put the ball on the floor. He has a really good frame as well, and he can make shots. He reminds me a lot of Cam Johnson, and it's not because he's light-skinned with an afro and a goatee. That's not the reason at all. But I think he could be a really good addition for San Antonio. Next up, I have the Golden State Warriors, and I'm going to make a kind of risky pick here, and I'm going to take Hans Steinbeck. I still don't know how to say his name, but this is, in my opinion, either one of or the best rebounder in this draft class, and I think Golden State needs some size at the center position, so I'm going to go Hans here. He's about 6'10", 6'11". I think that's a really good pick for them. As for the Miami Heat, they would have loved a Kingston Fleming. They would have loved a Labyrinth Phelan. They would have loved a Bennett Sturts, but all those guys are gone. You can go Darius Acuff here, which is where I'm probably going to go. Or you can go some three-point shooting now that you lost Duncan Robinson. And what better to get a more athletic Duncan Robinson, a quicker Duncan Robinson, and Isaiah Evans. I think Isaiah Evans is really good. Braylon Mullins, as a matter of fact, yeah, let's take Braylon Mullins. Really good off-ball shooter, really good off-ball player in general. Hasn't played much at UConn yet, but throughout the season, I'm going to assume that he's going to get back to form and he's going to be able to be right back in those lottery conversations. But yeah, I think he's a really good player, and I think Miami could use a guy like him. As far as the Memphis Grizzlies, who will be picking again with the 17th pick in this draft, I'm going to go. I want to go. You know what, man? Nah, because they just got Cedric Coward. I'm actually going to give them some more size, and I'm going to go with Thomas Hyock. This is somebody that can hit the three, is extremely lengthy, can move on the perimeter pretty well. I don't think he does anything spectacular, but he is a really good player throughout all of it. So I'm going to go with Thomas Hilk here for the Memphis Grizzlies. As for the Toronto Raptors, this is where you would probably want them to get a point guard because I just don't think Emmanuel Quickly is the answer long term, but I also don't think they can move off of him because that contract, where is it? Yeah, 32.5 million. That I don't think they're going to move off that contract anytime soon. But they love their wings. Toronto love their forwards. They're 6'9", do-it-all forwards. I'm going to go Dame Sarr. No, Dame Sarr, he's kind of been falling down the boards a little bit. I'm actually going to go Isaiah Evans here. This is actually where I'm going to go with Isaiah Evans because Toronto need this type of player. They need that athletic, play in transition, play well off the ball, is liable to go off from three every now and then. Toronto needs that. So I'm going to go Isaiah Evans here. For the Charlotte Hornets, I picked Koa Pete to start out. I'm going to go Darius Adcoff here because who knows what's going to happen with LaMelo Ball. I think Darius Adcoff, I think he's not as good as some of the top point guards in this draft, like the Kingston, Fleming, Labyrinth feeling, but he is still really good. Like, I'm not going to sit here and try and bash him. But I do think Darius Adcoff maybe is like, he doesn't have as quick a first step as a guy like Kingston Fleming or Mikael Brown Jr. or a Labyrinth Felon. He's not as gifted as a passer as a Bennett Sturts or a Kingston Fleming, but I do think he's a very polished scorer. I do think he plays out of the pick and roll well, and I think he's a really good ball handler to where I can see a team picking him in the draft. As for the 20th pick, we got another Atlanta Hawks pick here. They picked Jaden Quaitance to start out. I'm actually going to give them Cameron Carr. Cameron Carr is another one of my guys in this draft. It says he's 6'5". He looks around 6'6" or 6'7", but I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna wait for the measurements at the combine to really say how tall these guys really are, and that's gonna actually play a very big part. But as a 3-point shooter, he's been fantastic. He shows a lot of signs as a defensive player, and he shows some real on-ball potential. I don't think he's gonna get there anytime soon, but he shows some like feel as a pick and roll creator, as somebody that can play with pace in the mid range. But that's going to come with major time. He's about 21 years old. So that's going to come with some major time. But as a 3-point shooter and defender, I think he could be really good. As for the number 21 overall pick, who is going right back to OKC. Now, I will say one of these picks are going to get traded, possibly from OKC. I don't think they need 4 first-round draft picks. Like, they're probably going to trade maybe these 2, like, picks in the 20s for a later first or something like that, just to like dilute some of them. I'm going to take Kareem Lopez here. He stands at 6'9", 6'10", plays at the small forward position. He's a really good shooter. He's a really good athlete. And I think he can work really well for what OKC is trying to do, especially just to add a little bit more 3-point shooting. I think Kareem Lopez can be really good for this OKC team. As for Boston, I think they need a big. And I think Patrick Ngangba could be that guy. But I also think Dame Sarr, this is where he would fit, even though I think Boston has enough wings. So I'm going to go Patrick Ngangba. I know this could be a little early, but as a 3-point shooter, athletic lob catcher, and rim protector, I think he could be really good. He's going into his second season at Duke. He backed up Kaman Malawash last year, and he's been getting the start this season. And I think he could be a good fit for Boston, especially somebody that can knock down the 3, which I've seen him do a few times. I don't know for sure if he's just this knockdown shooter, or is that just something he just does every now and then, and he can knock him down. But I think that would be a good fit there. As for Minnesota, I'm going to go Malik Thomas, who's a really good 6-man for Arkansas, somebody that can put the ball on the floor and be a scorer at will. He does have some passing chops. I don't think he's there yet, but this is somebody that they can develop, especially if the Robert Dillingham situation really doesn't work, because it doesn't look like it is right now. I think that's somebody that can work for this for that Timberwolves team. As for the Lakers, now my mock for the Lakers for the past few mock drafts has been Ade Mara, and I think that's somebody that can work. But another guy I'm looking at right now is Dash Daniels, somebody I think that could work for the Lakers. Another guy that I think that could work for the Lakers is Dame Sarr. Just because I think Dame Sarr I'm gonna go Dame Sarr. Yeah, this is the pick here. This is the pick. This is definitely the pick here. I think with his transition play and defense and athleticism, I think he could be really good for this Lakers team. And it's really just what the Lakers need for the future. Like LeBron, this is maybe his last season or second to last season. We really don't know. Um, but then Dame Sarr coming in and being that athletic wing that you could put next to Luka and Austin Reeves, I think that's extremely pivotal. So I'm going to go Dame Sarr here. As for the Cleveland Cavaliers, I think I'm going to go Dash Daniels here. This is probably going to be the last year of the Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell sweepstakes. And I think Dash Daniels being somebody that can play next to Donovan Mitchell as a point of attack defender could be extremely helpful for them. So that's where I'm going to go with this pick. As for the New York Knicks, I'm actually going to go. I think this is where you go Neokolis Avdilas. I think Neokolis Avdilas is a really good player. I don't think he's as good as a lot of people are making it seem, though. Like he had that really good game against, I think it was Providence that he went against, and he had like 33 points. But I just don't see I don't see like he's as good as a top 10 pick good. I think he's a really good shooter. I don't think he's a good on-ball creator for as much as he has the ball. I think in DHOs he can knock down a lot of really good shots and he can play in the mid-range and he's a solid passer. But that's where I think it's like it's tough. It's tough. Like I don't see him as a lead guard, but I do think he could be a 2 or a 3 because he stands at in between 6'7" and 6'9". He can be anywhere between there. And then he could be like a 2 or a 3 and be somebody that can make the extra pass and things of that nature. But I don't see him being a full-time point guard. As for the Oklahoma City Thunder, this is where I don't know where I'm going to go with this team. I don't know where I'm going to go with the Thunder. This is a team that can really go anywhere with this pick. And I really don't know where they go. We're just going to be fun and we're going to give them Christian Anderson, point guard out of Texas Tech. I don't know where OKC decides to go with that pick. As for the Denver Nuggets, I'm just going to give them some more size, and I'm going to give them 8A Mara, which I don't know why I have to scroll all the way this low to get 8A Mara. I don't know what Jonas Valanciunas does over the offseason. Like, I know there was some rumblings about him going overseas to play ball. I don't know if that's something that happens over the offseason or what, but having 8A Mara, somebody that can rebound, rim protect, I think that's a really good pick for them. For the Detroit Pistons, this is a team that's probably going to want to get another ball handler, and I think that player can be Tahad Pettiford. Not the tallest, but he does have really crafty athleticism and ball handling that could be really used really well off the bench. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the very first round of the mock draft with the very first pick in the draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder picking Darren Peterson, then Cam Boozer going to the Washington Wizards, AJ Dybantsa going to the Sacramento Kings, Jaden Quaintance going to the Atlanta Hawks, Caleb Wilson going to the Milwaukee Bucks, Nate Ament going to the Indiana Pacers, Mikael Brown Jr. going to the Brooklyn Nets, the Charlotte Hornets picking at 8 and going with Koa Pete, Labyrinth Phelan Jr. going to the Portland Trailblazers at number 9, Tunde Yesufu going to the Oklahoma City Thunder with the 10th pick, Kingston Flemings going to the Dallas Mavericks with the 11th pick, Chris Sinak Jr. going to the Bulls with the 12th pick, Bennett Sturts going to the Memphis Grizzlies at 13, Yaxel Lindenberg going to the San Antonio Spurs at 14, Hans Steinbach going to the Golden State Warriors at 15, Braylon Mullins going to the Heat at 16, Thomas Hyock going to the Memphis Grizzlies at 17, Isaiah Evans going to the Raptors at 18, Darius Acuff going to the Hornets at 19, Cameron Carr going to the Hawks at 20, Kareem Lopez going to the Thunder at 21, Patrick Ngangba going to the Celtics at 22, Malik Thomas going to the Timberwolves at 23, Dame Sarr going to the Lakers at 24, Dash Daniels going to the Cleveland Cavaliers at 25, Neokolis Avdilas going to the New York Knicks at 26, Christian Anderson going to the Oklahoma City Thunder at 27, 8A Mara going to the Denver Nuggets at 28, Tahad Pettiford going to the Pistons at 29, and Caden Boozer going to the Washington Wizards at number 30. If you guys like that type of content, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys follow me on TikTok at TheBuzzerENT. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at ATBSports1, and make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at @TheBuzzerSports_. And with all that being said, I will see you guys next time. Peace.